Coach, thanks. CA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Inner Harbor at M&T Bank Stadium here in Baltimore, Maryland. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Houston Texans and the Baltimore Ravens. Two one-loss teams set to lace it up. This ought to be fun, and we're underway on EA Sports. On first down, Watson. And his first pass is incomplete. The linebacker, C.J. Mosley, there in coverage.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
Down! Blue 80! Blue 80! Black 99, feel it!
Throwing again on 2nd and 10, Watson. Trying to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. Picked off at about the 31. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. He's coming off a 3-interception performance last week, so certainly not how he wanted to start here.
Not at all, but this is where a quarterback gets tested. This is when we find out what he has underneath that jersey. Because he had a bad game last week. Can he shake off a bad start to this one and start to perform at the level he expects?
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll be dropped at the 23 after a pickup of about 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Orange.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. 12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy's setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and putting the defense back on its heels.
First red zone chance now for the Ravens. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 11. Here's Goff. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Sammy Watkins, the intended target, and now it's 2nd down.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Yes, sir.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
We're good.
Throwing on 3rd. Gone. Got a man. It's caught for a Ravens touchdown. Mark His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Ravens have taken the early lead. Tucker with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Richmond.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 36.
So that's back-to-back drives where they're throwing an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now they try the right side here. And a short gain down to about the 33. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Here's Goff now on 2nd down. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
From the gun on 3rd down. Goff. He completes it to Bryant. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Go. 2 for 1. Go, 12, go.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will force his way into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Ravens will extend their lead. Now Tucker to add the PAT. Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And that'll make the score 14-0. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything, at least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. It's the 3rd time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from it. They feel like they've got something there, and they want to capitalize on it.
I think you're right. We're only in the first quarter, so a lot of opportunities ahead.
Target.
On 2nd and 10, Watson. And Josh Hill has it. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. He got 29 yards that time. Took him 5 tries, but he is able to complete that first pass of the game.
And could you hear the exhale all the way up here? Not just from him, coaching staff, offensive line, receivers. Now he's off the schneid. Can they get him going in a nice groove where he becomes a little more consistent throwing the football?
Because you miss those first 2, but you get up the 0 for 4 range. That can be a little tricky, but able to settle in, hopefully.
Yeah, now you won't have any confidence issues. Now you can kind of get it back even with just 1 throw.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
That's going to set him back 5 yards. Here's Watson now on 2nd down. He's going to let this one go deep. And here's another interception, the 3rd of this first quarter. Picked off inside the 5. And he'll be stopped shy of the 15 at the 14-yard line on the return.
You hear me laughing, partner, and I'm not laughing at the situation, but sometimes you just get yourself into a rut. It's hard to shake yourself out of it.
After the interception, here's gone. And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line. Zach Cunningham in from his linebacker's spot. He's able to drop him for a loss of about 10. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a short gain here as he gets it up only to about the 6. Justin Reed, the safety, made the tackle.
Watching that play unfold and watching him complete it brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't over-pursue and let a guy get a cutback lane on you. He did that very well.
You praised him on tape yesterday for the angles that he takes to the ball. Took a great angle right there. And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long.
14.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
And the penalty helps, but not a whole lot. It's still 3rd and long.
Listen. 180. Super 66. 5. Starting left here. We're good. Louis.
From the gun, here's Gone. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off here by Aaron Colvin. And he is going to bring this back inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick 6 last week. Not a pick 6 here, but an interception.
Hey, it's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept a pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week, he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
After the interception, here's Watson. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off inside the 10. And he'll take this all the way down inside the 40. We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if your starter threw 4 in the first half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they weren't going to pull him out. But nowadays, the patience level isn't quite there. He's going to have to make some real adjustments, or the backup may see some time.
The tackle that time by Zach Cunningham.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Second quarter now. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis with you.
Go. Jester. Shell. 12.
On second down, here's Goff. He's going to look deep for Watkins. And they went for a big play through the air on second down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd.
Tremendous field position there and a perfect time to do exactly what they did. Take a shot at the end zone. And they went for the big play, just unable to complete it.
Tiger. 180.
Out of the gun. Goff. Going deep here for Bryant. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it could be tipped up and picked off.
And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
Black 22. Black 22. Black 99 Philly.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore.
Partner, what we just saw, that's a great example of a team that was really amped up. They've been playing so well, yet they didn't get overexcited and have a bust on defense and gave up a big play. Instead, they created their own big play with a pick 6. This one may be over.
Yeah, it's just the first half, but that lead has swelled to the point where you're wondering if it is over already. This is taken at the 3. A little juke. Oh, now he bowls it over. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Houston. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. On second down, here's Watson. Man open, that's Kiki QT complete. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. A good pickup there, 26 yards. On 1st and 10, Watson. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. I hate to sound really negative, but at this point, an incomplete pass, almost a moral victory that it's not picked off.
Well, you may hate to sound negative, but that was negative.
It was very negative, I know, but all these first-half interceptions, it's been tough to watch.
Yeah, couldn't find a silver lining in this one. Much more like lead.
Tiger, tiger, tiger. Six guard, check six guard. Tiger, tiger, tiger.
On second down, here's Miller. And he's going to be brought down inside the 45 at the 43. Pretty good running there, 9 yards. Sets up a 3rd and 1.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And he's got Miller. And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Down. Black 22. Black 22. Reset, reset, reset.
Watson on 1st down. And his throw's going to be incomplete. The tight end Josh Hill was the target. That'll bring up 2nd down.
I would say it'd probably be a good idea for him to reintroduce himself to his receivers at the half because they're definitely on different wavelengths. But I also don't advocate waiting that long. Next series before you get out there. Hey, let's get together, guys. Let's get this thing moving.
Tiger, tiger, tiger.
Back to the air, Watson on 2nd down. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. Well, he was just trying to contain DeAndre Hopkins, and he got a little too close.
And because of his ability to line up in different spots on the field and come at you from different angles, different guys have to cover him, and all of them have the same issue. How do you do it without interfering? In this case, it didn't get done.
They'll try to punch it in with Miller. And he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texans. Lamar Miller, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Texans get a bit closer. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a 2nd one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts.
And he fights his way into the end zone for a Texans touchdown. Lamar Miller, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Texans cut into that lead. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Ravens offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Yeah, get a little closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14.
Orange.
To throw on 2nd down is gone. is nearly picked. Not sure he was accounting for the free safety. Now it brings up third down.
You're down 2 touchdowns. You just know defensively you absolutely have to come up with a big play. That nearly was one right there.
Looked over at the sideline immediately after the drop and just saw the dejection. They felt it. They thought he had it. Unfortunately, couldn't come up with it. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. The Ravens get a new set of downs. Give them 17 on that pickup.
And I know you can't really see it, but that play spells frustration with a capital F for the guys on defense. They covered everyone else, end up going to the running back out of the backfield, and he picks up a back-breaking first down. No surprise there, Jadeveon Clowney with a tackle for loss. We all know how he became one of the most famous players in football, though, don't we remember?
Oh, that one play.
Yeah, that one big-time play. It was on highlights everywhere. They want to see more of that here in the NFL.
Patriot! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
A first throw for the backup, Jackson. And his first throw here is incomplete. Now, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
The Ravens on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. A shotgun snap for Goff. Out left side here to Bryant. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. The Raven passing game getting in sync. Another first down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Throwing right, and that's complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 19 on the last play, 19 more here, and another first down. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it now, the confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it, we can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
Goff. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. The Raven passing game getting in sync, another first down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be third down.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. It makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
The final shot before break here. Goff. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Zach Cunningham with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So we're at halftime here in the Inner Harbor with the hometown Ravens on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you feel like you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
DC.
On 1st and 10, Goff. Looking left side, Andrews with it complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Well, Brandon, so much for halftime adjustments. They still can't get anything going on the ground. It may be time to loosen things up and start flinging it around a little bit.
Now Goff. Open receiver, that's Hayden Hurst, the tight end. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. 23 yards on the play. Goff now 8 of 15 through the air, but it's 1st and 10 here.
Super 66.
Goff. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off here by Aaron Colvin. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Now a first down throw, Watson. He's letting this one go for Fuller. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he makes it all the way down to the 31. Watson hitting Fuller with a big one. 44 yards. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30.
Hey, back 22. Back 22.
A first down carry now for Miller. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. The former first-round pick Shane Ray in on the tackle.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Come back. Take green.
To throw on second is Watson. Touchdown, Houston. DeAndre Hopkins, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Texans turn that interception into a touchdown. Extra point up and good by Catanzaro. And they're back within a touchdown at 21-14. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. This is taken at the 3. He'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, and what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. Now a handoff looking right. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for 2nd down.
Back 99 Philly, here we go.
Now Jackson on 2nd down. He'll hit Watkins on the crossing route. The 30. 10. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Sammy Watkins, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Ravens will add on to their lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
Come back, come back. Take. Green the line. Green the line. Reset, reset, reset.
Now a first carry for Donnell Pumphrey. He juked him. And now spinning away. Whoa, it still won't go down. And they're going to have this in a great spot way down in Baltimore territory. A big-time play there for the Texans. 58 yards. Line of scrimmage moves from their own 25 all the way to the red zone now for 1st and 10.
Richmond.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Miller. And he stopped immediately there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Again, it's Miller. And once again, not much running room, if any at all. Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. Underneath for Miller. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and it'll be 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, it's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
On first down, gone. And he couldn't hang on. Would have been their 4th pick of the game. Instead, second down. What a difference a week makes. Last week, he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week, he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense, they spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
Off play action. Here's Goff. He's going to rifle one deep left side. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up third. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that, and thus far they've been successful.
The Ravens on third down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 10.
Let's go, 12, let's go. Here goes it on.
To throw is gone. He's going to wind up and air it out. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
There was no secret who they were trying to get the football to.
Well, no, they went to him on first down, second down, third down, all 3 incomplete.
Yeah, and when you're unable to connect and you force it in that direction, all you're doing is giving confidence to the defense. They feel like they're really hurting you in a big way.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. And here comes the Texans now. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point.
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe back.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
Reset, reset, reset.
On first down, it's Watson. Got an open man, it's QT. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Doesn't matter whether it's a zone coverage or man coverage, the drag route can be effective when it's run well.
Watson now just 7 of 16 passing thus far, but he's got a first and 10. Back now in Baltimore. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on first and 10.
Richmond. Down. Back 22. Back 22. Richmond. Tiger.
They'll run it now out of the gun. They find some open field here. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
Reset.
On first down, Watson. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off near the 32. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now, that's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, this is by Thema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. That one's good for 35 yards on the ground and a first down. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. And they'll go on the ground. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed, as that's going to move the chains. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
Oh, there's no doubt that this is a huge defensive series right here. They've got to hold them to a field goal attempt or less. Otherwise, this game just might be out of reach. Let's see if they can hunker down and get it done.
If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down.
76.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Just a couple there on the 2nd down run. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8 situation.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
The Ravens on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 8.
76. 76.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Peyton Barber, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Ravens will extend their lead. This offense certainly looking a lot more comfortable here at home. They lost last week in the opener on the road, but there's something about that home opener makes you feel more settled.
Yeah, I wish we could quantify it, too, because you're playing the same game. The field's the same, size. We know all of that. But being at home, sometimes when you do things well, you get that extra push from your home fans, and it elevates your game.
And in the driver's seat right now. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 26. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down. Here's Watson now on 2nd down. The hook up on the right side to Hopkins. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. They had the catch on second down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at third down here. Watson. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. So they took a shot there on third down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Now on fourth down, we've got a whistle here and a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Here's Marquette King now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. He'll field this at the 5. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Here comes the Raven offense now, ready for another possession. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner. And just think about how good that feels, because every team has a goal when they start the year to win at home. All right, and sometimes you don't win all of them, but they managed to get that done today. Just think about your routine stays the same. Everything's familiar. You feel right going into the game, and they translated that into a win.
They did indeed. They protected the home field, and now the final stages.
Here we go, fellas. Here we go.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And he'll get across the 20, but only to about the 22-yard line. On the tackle, Tyrann Mathieu.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
The Ravens on third down. 5 out of 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 7.
We're good. We're good.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. They'll get 6 there on the run, but it brings up 4th down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Here's Sam Cook now as he'll punt it away for the second time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10.
Reset. Richmond. Hey, Black 22. Black 22. Tiger. Check hot route. Hot. Go. Reset. Come back.
On 1st and 10, Watson. He's going to let it fly. And now here's another interception. Picked off at the 21. The number 7 usually lucky here. Not for him. 7 picks he's thrown in this game. That's only happened 6 times since 1960.
And I know that the most recent time it happened, the guy who threw him, he'd won a Heisman Trophy in college, so sometimes you just have a lousy game. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad career, but when you're talking about one game, 7, you're right, not lucky at all.
Yeah, Ty Detmer, the last to do it in 2001, to throw 7 picks. A lot of scoring. There's no doubt about that in this one, Charles. Points, they were not at a premium. They were pretty easy to come by.
They were, but it was fun, wasn't it? Because both teams finding ways to click. And you know people who love this game, they also love baseball games that are 14-11 with 3 or 4 home runs mixed in.
So for the Ravens, they make amends for their Week 1 loss by winning their home opener. And they'll get another home date next week as the Browns will come to town. Meanwhile, for the Texans, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Indianapolis to take on the Colts. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.